Hello, we have an exciting update this morning. So, we officially have dynamic countdown timers. We had chatted about this a little bit if you watched the countdown timer deep dive. This one was not yet released, so we're going to go ahead and dive directly into how we can utilize these inside our funnels, inside our emails, business, etc. So, if you don't know or didn't see the last video, when you create a new countdown timer, you do have to select a template. You can customize them, but there's a couple here, and then you continue with this template. Then you have the option for your fixed, your recurring, and dynamic. We've already kind of discussed these two, so we're just focusing on dynamic today. So first thing you can do here is essentially set up how long you want this countdown to last. Now, one thing to note is that with your dynamic, this is going to essentially replace something like deadline funnels, where you are tracking a person and they're getting this countdown timer customized to them based on when they completed a certain action. So if someone comes into your world and they download a lead magnet, you might have an email sequence that sells them to a low ticket offer and it's at a discount for X amount of time, whatever you put in this timer. And then when, let's say 4 days go by, they haven't purchased it, then that link would update to be expired and could send them to a page that has the regular pricing on it. So this is a little clunky right here with having to select when the countdown timer ends. Why they did that, I don't know. In my brain, it would make sense to just use, hey, I said 3 days, make it 3 days. But to them, they're adding this. So I'm just going to select 11 because it's just about 11 here right now. And then we're going to trigger this. So here's email trigger. I'm going to start the timer when either A, an email is sent, or B, a user opens the email. Of course, I'm getting reactions. So couple things here. You can use these however your imagination really allows you to figure out how to use them. First thought of mine is that if I'm on your email list, there's a very, very high possibility I'm not opening every single email from you. And sometimes it takes me a couple days to sort through my inboxes and kind of see who is there, what I want to read, what I don't want to read, etc. So if this is like confusing you at all, what I would recommend is use the email is sent for an action for new subscribers. These are going to be people that signed up for something or filled out a form. They're expecting communication from you. So email is sent is going to be a lot better suited for those who are looking out in real time for a communication from you. Whereas when user opens the email, maybe better suited for those people, that aren't looking for a communication from you right away, and it might take them a couple days to actually open it, take action on it. Again, you can use these however you want to. That's just kind of my thoughts on how to use it. And just to make it a little easier, select your time zone here, and then active timer leads to a link. So obviously, say they're going to click on a different link. They're going to land at a different location based on if the timer is active or expired. So this is just where you would put your link. Where do you want them to go when it's active? Where do you want them to go when it is expired? And then styling. So styling, this is just going to allow you to kind of update how you want this to look. You can change what is shown, fonts, font size. This is font weight. Your label font, that's going to be this little one down here. You can update your corner radiuses. This is going to be more applicable to the ones that have like the boxes around it. This one doesn't. And then, of course, your color options. Transparent background isn't an option yet. So I would just set your background color. If you're planning on putting it on a page that has a black background, make this black. If you're planning on putting it in like an email that's all white, make it white. Expiration image. So this is where I highly recommend you create like one of those expired, like take a screenshot right here of this countdown or something, or you could literally just make a little graphic that says expired. Because inside, if you're putting this in an email, what's going to happen, or even on your page, what's going to happen is when it expires, it will show them that image instead of this countdown or just like a blank box or a bunch of zeros. It will show them that it's expired or whatever image you put in there. And then padding, you can just adjust basically how much spacing, left, right, center, well, not center, left, right, top, bottom. And eventually we will also have the option to hide the timer in Apple Mail, assuming they're not going to play nicely with this feature, but we'll kind of see. You can also change your template. So if you're like, just kidding, I don't actually like the way that looks after you build it, you can always push that button and then come in here and update it to something else. Select done, save, and then in order to put this on your pages, on your emails, I recommend copying this code. You can see you have kind of a different option here for left, right, center. When you're putting it on websites, you're just going to use a widget. So it will actually show up in your saved elements. This is not going to be that countdown timer element that you typically get where you set it directly on the page. This is going to be inside of that saved element area. And you'll have a new little menu option that says countdown timers. You can just kind of drag and drop it into your funnels, into your websites, into whatever you're building. But for email, you do have to actually apply that via code. And you can, again, select left, right, center, go ahead and copy that, and then just use a custom code block and then paste it in, and you'll be good to go.